For all of us, many flowers are beautiful, and none more so than lotus flowers, and are considered a symbol of rebirth and purity. Yet these beautiful flowers have a great innovation. This is Engineer's Muse, and today we are going to look at how the lotus flower has inspired paints. The lotus flowers have microscopic bumps and hairs on the waxy leaves, which allow them to trap water as it rains. And as the raindrops glide off the leaves due to gravity, the raindrops take all the dirt with them, leaving the flower clean. Much like the other videos in this series we have covered, this idea would soon become a great idea that humans would attempt to replicate. The company is from Germany and is known as STO, and they have an in-house paint named Lotusan. The story goes that Willhelm Barthlot was a doctoral student and research assistant in Heidelberg when he came across the phenomenon. He described that he would study leaves, which would require the leaves to be clean for the scanning electron microscopes to be used correctly. He noticed that some leaves would not require cleaning, even though they all came from the same greenhouse, and he pondered why. The leaves with the least amount of cleaning were those of the white lotus, which is a self-cleaning leaf. The lotus's highly rough surface, which enables air to get trapped in its cavities, was discovered by Bartlott's investigations. This prevents condensation from forming and makes it possible for wind to move water droplets across the surface, clearing away dirt particles. It creates a great visual experience, which helped the effect become well known worldwide, because many TV stations would pick up on the story. Many biologists had thought about the lotus effect before Professor Barthlott, but none had found credible evidence until his discovery. It just doesn't make sense in the real world. A rough surface that nothing can stick to is a contradiction. It took 20 years for proper discussions to take place and for more interest in the flower's ability. However, there was drama. Professor Barthlott had worked hard on getting his research published in 5 prominent journals, and most of them ignored the study and wrote things like, "The so-called lotus effect only exists in the fantasy of the author." Yet, many years later, one of the journals approached Professor Barthlott for some background research, and he simply replied, "Well, it would have been better if you had just published the original article when I sent it to you." The paint has many favorable traits, such as natural protection against algae and fungal attacks, moisture regulating, and of course, keeping facades clean for longer. Even NASA imitated the plant's ability to repel water. Scientists at the agency's Goddard Space Flight Center developed a unique covering that shields the surfaces of spacesuits, research equipment, robot rovers, radiators, mirrors, solar array panels, and other devices used to gather data for scientific purposes, from dirt, dust, and fluids. So as this series comes to a close, we hope you have found all the videos very informative and possibly start to see the potential of biomimicry in action in the natural world. Who knows, maybe you'll be the next great innovator.